I learned a little bit about Python and how you can get external data inside your code. So basically what I've done is I've taken a random website, well, not exactly random, okay? See, I'm using everything from the course, which the link is also in the description. And inside of this, there is a very interesting website, which I may show, or I will definitely put the link in the description also. They had a lot of data banks. They have like, I think, thousands of data banks about very different things for artificial intelligence growth and development. So very interesting. So I'm getting the data bank for there. So well, let's see how I can read it. Well, first I am here with everything already set. I put my code here, my data bank inside here. My data bank is the iris.data, so you can see even well, it's very clear it was my data, and I don't have it open, but I would do it right now. Let's put it a little bit more here. Come on, where is it? I have my archives here, so yeah, it's already here. So because I already lost it, so it's very easy to lost it for me. Well, here it is anyway. I have this iris.data, and here it has, well, data for the flower iris really. So it's a lot of data here, a lot of data inside this, and it's very interesting indeed. Because what I was expecting is to be more organized, but I think this is the most organized it can be. Because even though I don't know exactly what it's supposed to mean here, computer will. But for now, I'm not making artificial intelligence, though I definitely will. That's one of the reasons I'm learning Python specifically after all. So let's do a little bit let's, well, do a little bit with this data about views. Well, first, what's my idea? Okay, so what happened here is I'm taking lines, and specifically I'm taking the first line. So let me explain. I'm splitting every single one because here my computer will read all of this, every single line of this 150 line data as a single unit. So it takes everything here as, well, everything. It takes literally everything as one variable. So if I want to, like, for example, take here Setosa 5.2, 4.1, 1.5, 0.1 iris Setosa, I won't be able to because I need to filter this. One way you can filter, which is what I will be doing, is splitting each line as an individual, for example, not variable, but as an individual dictionary or dictionary part. And so exactly that's what I'm doing here. I'm splitting every time there is a comma, which you can see here. It's how it's split here. So for 5.1 comma, which is splitting the difference. The point here is just to show that it's not a whole number. Comma, oh yeah, etc. Here, for example, this first one, I am doing this. So you can, if I run here, you can see I take the whole, and this is the whole document again. If it was bigger, it would be a pain to do it. But I'm taking the whole document and separating it every time there is a comma, a big comma. It's not exactly a big comma. I just splitting as comma, and every time there's a new line, I separate. So here inside the dictionary, which here the name of the dictionary here is archive. So inside my archive, there is one point which is the first line, and there's a second line, there's a third line. So I'm dividing this as lines. But as you can see, there are, well, still things left here. First, I'm printing my database. So that's the second thing you see. The first thing you see is a little loop, which with open iris data as read mode. So I'm reading my iris data and putting everything information as the archive. So for every register, we in archive.readlines, that means I'm reading lines separately. I will do an appendant in a dictionary that is called base data, which is here. So I'm creating a dictionary. So yeah, a lot of things here, really. And well, cool, really. I'm splitting every time. So again, I'm splitting each line here and by, well, comma. And then I'm creating a database here. Creating a database, it's not complicated, but I don't think let me show you what I mean. Well, here if I run this again, I'm not putting nothing here from the database because it's not reading a specific part. For what I understand, really, it must be printing around here, around the back of this code. So this printing database doesn't do much. But what does very much is the second part of the code, as where here things go interesting. Let's first do this. Let's comment one part of this code because this code actually it won't work. Well, okay, let's add again. Yeah, I forgot I need to add. So here it's doing a very interesting thing. What I'm doing here is that I'm taking the first line, the very first line, and I'm taking the first line and taking the first code of the first line, the first, let's say the first value of the first line. So I'm taking it. You can see 5.1. That's exactly the first value of the first line. So I'm basically taking the very first thing you can have, which is very interesting. And now where it comes to play the rest of the code. Well, here what I'm doing is that I'm making I'm doing a little math here, and I'm adding the very first data to the very second data. So I'm adding 5.1 plus making 5.1 plus 5.5. And if I run this, it will give us 8.6. So it's very interesting because if I need to, in any kind of shape or form, manipulate data with the data, so for example, a collisional force and gravitational data. Let's go with it. And I have these two values who clash, for example. Let's say they clash because the gravity is too high and you need to find a way to overcome it. So you have doing a code for this, and you do basically this. You take the database that has all of this data you need and you use them to make a new data. For example, a mathematical account for example, the force needed to lift 1,000 kilograms or 1 ton of material in 10 meters per second gravity. I know it's kind of specific, but just show exactly what it can do, really. So I'm taking, and remember, this is actually from a foreign site, so I didn't create this .iris data. Of course I didn't, especially by hand, because 150 lines of code doing the same thing over and over, well, that has to be courageous, if not what. But yeah, I'm pretty much doing this. You can also be made from a calculator. Well, but that's pretty much it. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, also subscribe, like and subscribe. Not just that, but look at the comments down below. No, sorry. Of course, the comments. You can comment exactly what you want to see next. But also commented how we think you can apply this to your everyday life. Not just that, but in the description there is all the links that I use, the course and the database. That's pretty much so. Yeah. Goodbye.